Hi everybody, how you doing? Chris
Hi.
from
Hi.
Remax, and here we have Serge from Remax as well, and Hanai from the beautiful Costa del Sol, attorney and accountant service in the Costa del Sol. So welcome everybody, and today we are gonna make 5 questions to Hanai in order to know more how it works to invest in the Costa del Sol. So Hanai, how are you doing today?
How are you doing? Not too bad. Hopefully.
How is the weather? How is the weather
Well,
there?
here not really very good today because again it's cloudy weather, but well, we're wishing to receive our spring almost in a couple of days.
Excellent, yeah, because you have more than 300 of days of sun over there, right?
Yeah.
It's true that, no?
Yeah, it's true, it's true.
So let's start with the first question. We are gonna make one question each, me and Serge. I will start first. So what are the benefits for a foreign investor to invest in the Costa del Sol, and how they qualify? I'm meaning about potential tax exemption and any benefit they may receive.
Wow. Generally, Spanish law treats foreign investors, including Canadians, very similarly to Spanish citizens when it comes to property ownership. Then there are no specific legal restrictions based on nationality that would prevent you from buying property on La Costa del Sol. If you ask me about the benefits for foreign investors, I can say equal rights, because you will generally have the same rights and obligations as a Spanish buyer regarding property ownership, use and disposal, okay? Also, it is an investment potential because Costa del Sol is growing up, especially last decade, and with a strong tourism and rental potential. Then if you invest, you can not only have here considering as a residency, but also as to rent it out and get some profits. And the lifestyle, the climate, the culture, the lifestyle, the Costa del Sol is significant that can attract and draw to many international buyers, okay? And also the Spanish people is so open, and here you will find so many nationalities in the same area that you will feel comfortable at any time, okay?
In which area you are located?
I am specifically at Benalmádena, but I can cover all Malaga because, and also Andalusia, because you know we have clients from worldwide and in all Spain, but we are in Benalmádena, almost in the middle of Costa del Sol. It's very nice, close to Marbella, Málaga, Fuengirola, Torremolinos.
Estepona.
Also Estepona, because Estepona, Soto Grande, which is also belongs to Cadiz, not to Malaga. This area is wealthy, so a lot of opportunities raising out there. Another thing that you're asking me is about how we can do an application to a property purchase, okay? The standard legal process for buying property in Spain applies to you as a Canadian, for example, a buyer, and you will need, first of all, we should get, as you know, Christian, the NI number. This is called Número de Identificación de Extranjero in Spanish, which is a foreigner identification number necessary for any financial transactions in Spain. Secondly, what we would suggest is to open a bank account here in Spain, okay? Obviously, we suggest to engage a lawyer to conduct the due diligence, draft and review contracts, ensure the legal aspects of the purchase are handled correctly, okay? For example, another step, later we can review each part of the process, but just to give a summary of everything, you should sign the escritura pública. These are the title deeds, okay, before a Spanish public notary, okay? or notary public, we should pay the applicable taxes and register the property at the Registro de la Propiedad, which is the land registry, okay? You are asking about potential tax exemptions.
Yes, very important.
Yes, very important, but unfortunately, not much exemptions in this area. There are generally no specific tax exemptions on the purchase of a property solely based in this, just referring to buying a property, okay, as a foreign investor. However, depending on the future residency status and how is the personal situation, we can see if there is any tax that may come to a deduction or something. But if we refer specifically for buying a property, no, not an exception itself. On the other hand, we have different taxes, for example, the non-resident income tax. If we, for example, buy a property and we rent it out, as non-resident, we should pay the non-resident income tax on the rental income, okay? There is also another tax called wealth tax, impuesto del patrimonio in Spanish. This is a tax that applies to individuals with significant net wealth, including property in Spain, okay? If you are somebody is applicable, our team of experts would explain and guide in this issue, okay? Just giving you a brief idea of all the taxes that we may face here. Capital gain tax, if you sell the property in the future, you will be subject to capital gains tax on any profit made. As a non-resident, there is a specific regulation here that when a non-resident is selling, the buyer should withhold the 3% on the value of the sale on behalf of the seller, okay? We can explain this later. It is crucial then to understand that there are specific tax obligations that will depend on your residency status in Spain and the double taxation agreement between Canada and Spain that there exists one, okay? If there are a Canadian citizen residing in Spain, or a Canadian investor with interest in the country, it is crucial also to understand that how it affects the taxation to the personal and financial situation. And there is a double taxation agreement between both countries. And in this agreement, designed to prevent the investors to double pay taxes in both countries, okay? Then there is also, this is a positive double taxation agreement that will benefit also to the investors.
So basically, if the tax is paid in Spain, they don't have to pay anything in Canada.
Exactly. Briefly, that's the main goal of the treaty. And this treaty.
Excellent. Yeah, no, at the moment you cover a lot of important topic, and this is very interesting. But as you say, yeah, whenever at the moment the details is better to contact you, you know, and
yes,
do
exactly.
as I did also with you. No? Serge, do you have a question for?
How can we get a citizen? Is there for foreign investor? Can we get a citizenship of Spain? Is that possible? Or because we own a property, we buy a property in Spain?
Oh, you mean the residency or the?
Yeah, residency. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you are asking me if there is any chance for a Canadian citizen to get or be granted. Well. Yes, there are some specifications in the foreign regulation till now, but now it's finished. Used to have this golden visa, well-known golden visa, but now we can't it has been taken away, so we can't use it anymore, because just investing 500,000 euros in a property, you would be granted, if you request it, of course, the residency automatically, for not only for residents but also for working, for you and your family. But now that is not anymore available. But there are different, for example, if we are talking about someone who has some sufficient financial means, we still have one possible resident that doesn't allow to work, but you can at least reside here legally, the non-lucrative visa, okay? This represents granting you and the family to stay more than 90 days, because, you know, let's go backwards, excuse me.
Yeah.
A Canadian citizen for stays longer than 90 days within 180 days, okay, period, this means only 90 days in 180 days, they will need to obtain this long-term residence visa, okay? And one of the options is this one, the non-lucrative visa, but, well, they should have sufficient financial means, because we are talking maybe about, I don't know, for a family, 40, the first year is not a problem, because it is granted only for 1 year, so you should provide sufficient proof of means for 1 year, but once you want to renew it, you need for a period of 2 years, okay? Then it's coming a higher amount. Maybe we are talking about if for 1 year one person would be 20,000 euros, okay? Maybe you can think about multiplying it by person by year.
It is very important that you give us a number, because numbers
Yes.
that in Spain they may appear a lot. For
Yes.
Canadian, North American, they are not so much, right, Serge? Because, for example, to have a $50,000 to have you on your wealth to live, this is normal, no? I mean, to have so it's not a problem that, you know. So basically, if a person has $500,000 and to demonstrate in bank and stuff, there is no problem to ask, right?
Yes, that's the truth. Let me make the figure, because I didn't but let's do it together, because it's very easy. For example, if we have a minimum of 700 euros, okay, we should think that this minimum we should multiply by 4. This is 4 by 4. Then we are coming up to 2,800 per month, okay? Then this by 12, we say that around 30,000 euros per person per year, okay? Then if there is a family of 4, that usually happens, we are talking about 100-something euros maybe, okay?
Yeah, but thinking of investors, they want to invest in properties, for example, in the Stepona, South of Stepona area, that 1 2-bedroom can cost from 400, 350,000 euro up to 800. You know, it's not a problem.
Yeah,
so actually, it's a good news.
No, but this is not referring to the property. This is what, in order to get this non-lucrative visa.
Yeah, to get the visa.
Okay,
no, but I mean, these kind of people, they usually don't have this problem, because they are looking to buy more expensive.
But this depends on if they want to work or not, because another kind of residency permit is the work visa, okay? If you plan to work in Spain,
no, in our case, it would be just investor.
Only investor. Okay, a couple.
No problem. But there are always ways to reach the visa.
Of course, always. This is one of them, and many clients of mine came here in that way, and in the end, they kept on renewing the non-lucrative, and in the end, many of them got the nationality, because they could request the nationality, the Spanish nationality.
Yeah.
Easier, I guess it's easier for Canadian to get a visa.
Yeah. Excuse me?
It's easier, I guess it's easier for Canadian, as a Canadian, to get a visa because it's Spain and everything compared to other countries where it's
Yes.
more difficult.
Yeah, well, compared to other countries, yes, because it's EU, European Union is getting, yes, more difficult. But this is, as always, Europe, each country used to have difficult regulation to get a residence permit when you are from a considered third state, because this is not EU, any out of EU is third country, let's say. And well,
Anaim, about let's say that one of our investors find a property, can be under construction or resale, and is interested to buy. What is what are the due diligence that you have to do, you as a lawyer, and you recommend to the buyer that is mandatory in Spain to have? How we know the title is clean, we can buy, and the property is safe to buy?
Okay, Spain has a well-established and reliable property title registration system managed by the land registry. Okay, this is a public registry where all legal rights relating to real estate are recorded. The registration of the property title provides legal security and public notice of ownership and any charges or encumbrances affecting the property, okay? If there is a mortgage or anything, an embargo, or it is seized, okay? And how does it work, the system here? The public deed, which is the one that we will sign in front of the public notary, okay? Also, another figure who's giving us very the warranty on these transactions is the notary himself, because he's the one who's authorizing the signature of that title, okay? And he checks out that there is no strange or weird things going on that sale, okay? So, well,
he makes sure that the title is clear.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Especially they verify that the title is valid, clean, and there is nothing that doesn't allow to go ahead with that sale, for example. Okay, for example, if there is a mortgage, okay, because this is something that is, if it has some encumbrances, then they can't move forward with the sale. Okay, so from us, we start with all the due diligence of the process, obviously reviewing the basic reports from it is called nota simple, from the property itself. We review that it matches the property with the information in this summary of the property, because many times there are for example, reforms that hasn't been legally made, okay, because you need some licenses sometimes, and maybe you have a construct, or you have built using public land, and well, we verify that everything is legally issued related with that property.
And
okay?
This is valid also for rental, correct? Not only for
Excuse me,
buying.
the what?
This is valid also for rental, right? So let's say that a person want to come and rent first before buy, and it's not a short terms, let's say is a few months. I think you have to ask also the nota simple, right? The simple note.
Yes, excellent simple note, yes.
Okay, so basically
Yes.
it's very important to know.
You can also, yes, it's very important when you want to rent out a property that we check out, verify that the owner who's signing that contract match with the real owner of the or owners in plural of the property. Okay, so well,
so basically, yeah, the
yeah.
process is very easy, but so far we know the rules, and so far we work together with a professional as you know, so that makes everything easy, because at the end it's only one document. But imagine that we don't know, we rent a property, we sign a contract, and then results that maybe this guy is not the owner.
It's been a scam.
So, yeah, so
yes.
So we need to direct the buyer, potential Canadian buyer, to the right person to make sure that this person is going to buy something clean of any future problem.
Yes.
What would be the total cost of including the tax and legal fees, and what we can expect?
Well, we have the transfer tax. Okay, this is in Andalusia now 7%. Okay, this is the basic rate. Okay, if we are talking about a 1 million euros property, we should review this percentage, will be higher. Okay, but there is a chart I can send you so you can match the values with but from 7%. Okay, the notary fees. Okay, this is around 500 to 1,500. Okay, and the higher the properties are, more expensive it does. Obviously, it is more expensive, the notary fees, and also the land registry. Okay, because there is another expense, which is the land registry, and this is also around 500 and 1,000 euros. Okay. And I'm giving you, this is not accurate, okay, just to have
it's okay.
a rough idea of the time. And the legal fees. The legal fees are normally 1% of the transaction value. If we are talking about a new build, okay, property, there is only, we don't pay the transfer tax, but we pay the VAT, the value added tax, okay, which is a flat rate of 10%. There is another tax that is paid at the notary, and it is called stamp duty, more or less, and it is around 1.2 to 1.5, okay, of the value of the property.
The
and
buyers
again,
paying that, or the sellers paying that, or the buyers paying that?
Look, here customs, and normally it is paid by the buyer. All this by the buyer, okay? And the seller only will pay the tax called plusvalia, and this is the increasement of the land value, okay? And for example, because maybe someone bought the property 10 years ago and he's selling it today, it has an increasement on the value of the property.
Equity tax.
Yes, exactly. So that's what the seller will be, forced to pay. Okay, and all the rest is paid by the buyer. And also, again, if it is a new build property, the notary and the land registry is the same, okay? Same amount I've just told you, okay?
A technical question on resales. Let's say the value of the apartment is $300,000, but it's fully furnished. Can you give a value to the furnish? And if it's possible, that is not going to be taxed, right?
No.
Say that is a $300,000 the value, and we have $30,000 of furnish, or let's say $50,000, because maybe it's 50,000. Let's say we can pay the transfer tax just based on the 250.
300.
300,000 is the value,
yes,
minus
exactly.
50,000 of the furnish.
Yes, exactly, 250, excuse me.
So, no, it's okay. So, but so it's good, because at the end, transfer tax, which is the most expensive, you're going to pay for it.
Yes, but also we should have in mind there is some years ago Spain established a value called reference value of each property. because taxes used to be paid on the cadastral value, which is lower than the market value, okay? And they realized that they were losing a lot of money in taxes. So they established this reference tax value of properties. So when you pay the transfer tax, will be never under that reference, because if you do so, you can do that, but you will receive a complementary request to pay the balance, okay? So this is very important to have in mind, even though we don't need to pay the market value, we can use this reference value, but just in case the example you are giving us is, for example, 300,000 euros and the reference value is 400,000, we should take that one to pay the taxes, okay? The higher one in this case.
Yeah, we have something similar here. So basically, as a Canadian, I feel comfortable to buy a property in Spain.
Yes, it's very secure.
If it's secure, and if you're well accompagné, I'm going to say in French, sorry, but if you're working with the right person, as you, a notary, as a real estate broker, and everything, it's you know, you need to do. You just don't fly in Spain. Okay, I want to buy an apartment. You have to be, you know, you have to take care of those people, and that you know, find the right person.
Yes, because on the street you will find many foreigners, may find many people trying to take advantage on them.
Yeah.
On this, so it's very important to be close to somebody who can give you the correct advice.
Is NIE office is near your office? You talk to me about it. Is that close or?
Yeah. Will be close.
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Highway.
Because the Costa del Sol is very well connected by 2 highways.
Yeah.
And it's very nice because you always have the ocean on one side. Where Anaí she is Benalmádena is one of the most touristic area, together with Torremolino and Cala de Mijas, Fuengirola. All those areas are famous, and if somebody does research, they are going to find probably this area first. Going a bit more south, you will find Marbella and then Estepona. Estepona is the area that I saw with more potential, in terms that is not so busy as can be Benalmádena, for example, where you already have everything. And is also where you look at the hills, you can see more greens, and all the new developments that they are doing over there looks fantastic. So they took the experience from the previous part and they're applying over there. So we are a bit more south, and the view, the escape are gorgeous, are fantastic. And it's also where also the golf courses are, because I know a lot of Canadian, North American, they like to play golf.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Golf area.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's a really good point, because there's a lot of people, they go to Arizona. They have maybe properties in Arizona. I don't know if they have, but they go to Arizona, play golf and everything. And I'm sure there's a lot of Canadian, they prefer to move to Europe to play golf, and well, things change in life. Things change in the world now.
So well, thank you very much, Anaí.
Thank you
very much, Serge. So let's upload this video. And if you that you are watching, you have any question, we are gonna put our contact at the end of this video, so you can contact directly the 3 of us. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Christian. Bye.